Today I'm going to teach you how you can master beginner chess puzzles. I'm going to play a couple of puzzles and I'm going to explain to you what's on my mind and how I actually go ahead to solve them. So let's go. Alright, let's get into the first puzzle. Okay, so what do we do now? That's the question. Well, when you're trying to solve puzzles almost every time, or probably pretty much every time, the thing you should do first is look for checks. Look for checks. Do you have any checks? You should do this in every position, no matter if it's puzzles or not. So let's look for checks. Well, we have this check maybe. We have this check. Let's look for all checks you can possibly find. We have this check, but that's not a good move because they can just take our queen, of course, two ways. So there's really two checks here that maybe make sense. So let's calculate one first. Let's calculate the one that looks better first. My first instinct says that this move is better. Let's see what happens when we play this move. Well, the king can't move, so they're gonna have to take with the rook, because that's their only move. Once they take with the rook, then we take their rook. Then what? The king is still stuck. It looks like a checkmate. Well, they can block with their queen, but we just take the queen. And that's checkmate, actually. So that's actually very nice. Yeah, yes, there, check, check, and then we take the queen. Just looking for checks and we easily solve that puzzle. That's all you need to do. Alright, let's apply the same concepts. Let's look for checks. We have this check. What happens then? Then they just take our queen. That doesn't look amazing. Do we have any other checks? Well, we have this, but then we just lose our queen, of course. We can take, but then yet again we just lose our queen. We do have a bishop check as well. What happens if we give a check with the bishop? Well, they will just take our bishop with the knight, right? Or will they? You see, if they take the bishop with the knight, then this is a check. So the knight can take the bishop. So if we take, they cannot take with their knight. And where does the king go? It can't go anywhere. It's actually a checkmate. Boom. So that's just looking for checks and keeping in mind that there's pins in this position. And we easily managed to solve that puzzle as well. Let's go to the next one. Alright, so here, let's look for checks yet again. I only see one check in this position, which is this check. I don't think there's any other checks in this position. So well, let's look what happens if we take with this check. Then, I mean, the king has to take, or the bishop has to take, or the king just moves, but that's just a terrible move. So if we take this with check, let's say they take with the bishop, which probably seems like a better move. Then what happens? Nothing? Not really. You know, you need to keep these things in mind, that when you see a queen aligned with another queen or aligned with the bishop, there's high time for tactics. Because if we now move the rook with check and they take, now the queens see each other and their queen isn't protected. So after we give a check, as you'll see here, now this queen can actually just be taken. Kaboom! And we get a queen and we win the game, hopefully. And yeah, let's go to the next puzzle. Alright, so checks, check, checks. This is a check. This looks very enticing. This is also a check. What happens if we give this check? Let's see. That's pretty much the only two checks I can see. So yeah, let's see what happens if we give this check. Then their king goes here. Then what? Do you have any more checks? Can you see one? Because I can't. I don't think there's any more checks in that position. Let's look at the other one, because there's no point in keeping on calculating a line if you can't see an obvious win. At least in these beginner puzzles, there's often just a very straightforward answer. When you're calculating grandmaster level puzzles or 3000 plus puzzles, there's another story. Let's look at this check. Check. The only king move is here, right? They can't go here, they can't go here. And then once they go there, then this check maybe. Oh wait, that's actually checkmate. Let's do it. As you can see, this is protected by the knight if we take it. And yeah, that's actually a checkmate as well. We get another puzzle. Let's do another one. So they take the pawn. Let's look for checks, checks, checks. We have this check. This looks like the obvious move, right? I think many people would say that this looks like what should be played. If we give a check, then what will happen? Well, the only move they can go to is here. And then what? What can we do when our queen is here and their king is there? Do you see it? Well, actually, let's play it out, because this is actually the correct move. Oh, they didn't even let us finish it. Well, what will happen is when the king goes there, then this bishop isn't protected by the king anymore, so we can actually just take the bishop and the checkmate, because the king can't escape anywhere. Let's go another one. Alright, so here our pieces looks very well placed, is what I see first. Their king looks kinda unsafe. Let's look for checks, because there's actually several checks in this position that looks decent. We have this check, that's a check. We also have this check, that's a check, and then we also have a check that's maybe a little bit harder to see for most people, which is this check. It's a backwards queen move check. A lot of beginners often don't even look at this move because they can't find it, because backwards move is kind of hard to find. Let's calculate the ones that looks best first. I don't think this is the correct move, because if we go there, they can simply just block with the rook or the queen. Most likely the rook. So let's look at this first. What if we give a check? Then they will take, of course. And then we take. Then what will they do? I mean, if they go here, that's actually checkmate. If we go check, they take, and we take, they have to go here. Then what do we do? Well, now maybe we can play this check, but no, that doesn't look too good, because they can simply just go here. So I don't think that's the correct answer. Let's look at this check. Check. What happens if they block? Then we can maybe play check. There. Check. This actually is a pretty trick one, if I'm not missing something very obvious. Oh wait, I see it. It's check. No. Oh, it's this. But this isn't mate. Yeah, that was a kind of tricky one, because there's no win going on. There's just actually a winning position. So this is a very complicated puzzle. I didn't expect this to be down at the beginner levels. This puzzle is supposedly rated 1170. But yeah, it happens. Some puzzles are pretty strange. Let's go to the next one. We have take. Alright, let's look for checks, as we should do. We have this check, we can take the knight with check. Excuse me. We can take the knight with check, then what happens? Then they take. Yeah. Then we do actually have a checkmate. But if you have studied puzzles before, you might be familiar with this checkmate. We can actually take the knight. Once they take, then we can make this checkmate. As you can see, the king can't escape, and it's actually checkmate. However, we do not have to take the knight. Do you see why? We can actually play this move right away. But what? The knight just takes. Oh, nope, they can't, because they're pinned. So we don't have to take the knight first, because if we take the knight, they don't have to take. They can just move their king, and then we don't have that checkmate anymore. But if we make this move right away, then it checkmates right away and we win the game. Pretty hard to see pinned pieces. Alright, this is the last puzzle I'm going to go through. So what are they doing? They're attacking our bishop, attacking our pawn, threatening to promote. However, as you probably should know by now, we should just be looking for checks. Do you have any checks? Do you see any checks? Actually, there's just one check here, and that check happens to be a checkmate. As you can see here on the other side of the board, we have a battery going on with the queen and the bishop targeting this pawn, and kaboom, we win. Yeah, so that's all. Thank you for watching.